abroad, up in the air. That's right. Today we are on an airplane and we are continuing to learn about our big God who allows us to do really big things. So let's try a few in-flight exercises to get ready for takeoff. First, in your seats, I want you to fasten your seat belts. All right, we are going to do some exercises. So we're going to start with neck rolls. So put your head down into your chest, twist to one side, stretch out this side of your neck, and then come down and stretch the other side. Okay, loosen up. We're gonna do some shoulder rolls. So let's go backwards for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now reach forward in your seat and touch your toes. Let's stretch out our legs and our backs. All right, now sit back up. We're gonna do some leg lifts. So let's start with one of our legs. Lift it up straight in front of you, and then your other leg. One more for each leg. Awesome job. We are ready for takeoff. We are gonna have an awesome flight today.
Did you know that the world is 40,075 kilometers long in circumference? That means that if you start here, you have to travel that many kilometers around the earth to get back to the same spot. My question for you is, if you could fly anywhere in the world by airplane, where would you like to go? Why? Come tell me. Why do you think that people prefer to travel by airplane versus other ways of travel when they're going far distances? Well, it's probably because it's really far. If I want to travel back to my dad's home country of Uganda all the way over here, it takes me 7 hours to fly halfway, just to fly. And I can't walk along the ocean unless I'm Jesus, which I'm not. So I think that airplane is the best way to go.
Last week, we heard about two guys, Elijah and Elisha. Elijah was Elisha's mentor, someone who taught him and guided him until he was taken up into heaven. This week, we'll hear a story from Elisha's life after his friend was gone. Have you ever had to do something that you thought was impossible? Well, today's story is about having faith in what God can do, and God can do a lot. One day, the widow of a member of the group of prophets came to Elisha and cried out,
My husband who served you is dead, and you know he feared the Lord. But now a creditor has come threatening to take my 2 sons as slaves.
What can I do to help you? Tell me, what do you have in the house?
Nothing except a flask of oil.
Borrow as many jars as you can from your friends and neighbors. Then go into your house with your sons and shut the door behind you. Pour olive oil from your flask into the jars, setting each one aside when it is filled.
The woman said that she had nothing except a small jar of olive oil. She thought that it wasn't enough, but Elisha knew that God could do something big for her. She had to have faith to do what Elisha told her to do. Let's see what the widow's faith did for her. So, she did as she was told. Her sons kept bringing jars to her, and she filled one after another, and soon every container was full to the brim.
Bring me another jar, my sons,
She said to her sons.
There aren't any more.
Her sons told her, and then the olive oil suddenly stopped flowing. When she told the man of God what had happened,
Now sell the olive oil and pay your debts, and you and your sons can live on what is left over.
Isn't it amazing what happened because she had faith and did what Elisha told her to do? The woman was worried about the really big problem that she was facing, but God used Elisha to show the woman that she could have faith in God. What did God do through Elisha and the woman? Well, that's what we call a miracle, something that happens that we can't really explain. All we know is that God used something so small like oil to solve a really big problem for the woman and her family. When we need help and don't know what to do, we can have faith that God will take care of us too. Okay, friends, when can you have faith in God?
Most people are comfortable flying in an airplane because they are confident that the airplane will take off, go through the air, and take them to where they need to go. They have faith that the plane will fly. The Bible tells us faith is when we are 100% confident in something, especially things we can't see. We put our faith in many things, like airplanes, but the most deserving of our faith is God. Now we are going to open up our airplane and see what our big idea is today. Whoosh. Okay, let's say the big idea today. It is, I can have faith in God. Nice work.
Hi there, Chicken Nuggets. Me, Carl. Welcome to Grow TV.
Welcome to Grow TV. Hosted by Carl. Where we have fun with our friends, talk about Jesus, and go over everything the Bible has to offer. Now once again, welcome to Grow TV.
Well, hello to another beautiful day on God's green earth. You know what my mama says, a day above the ground is a day to be, yes, good. So that's why today I'm so happy, because anything can happen today. Possibilities are endless. The sky is the limit. Like I could go to Disney World if I wanted to. Probably won't though, because last time I was there I rode the teacups and I got mugged. Get it? Like mugged, like the cups. I could go complete a triathlon. I don't even know what that is, but it can't be that difficult. Jeepers, I bet you if I wanted to, I could get up and fly anywhere I wanted to in the whole world. You know what? That's not a bad idea. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fly today. You don't believe me, do ya? Joke's on you. I got this special flying juice that I got for my birthday from my cousin Muddy Bruce. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous to drink this, because last time I got juice from my cousin Muddy Bruce, it had some weird side effects, so here's to nothing. Weird. Tastes like old peanut butter and strangely a Nerf gun. Guess it's not working. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's working. It's working, y'all. Waha! Would you look at that? I'm flying, y'all. Whoa! This is incredible. Sorry. Hey, look, I can see my old school from here. Hey, Miss Whitaker, I guess my head was in the clouds, huh? Now this is the life.
Hey Carl, how are you?
I'm doing great, Katie. Flying sure is fun.
Wait, where do you think you are right now?
Up in the air. It's wonderful up here. The air's crisp, but not too crisp, you know?
I see.
You know, it's not like too crispy. It's like the medium, kind of in between. It's like, there's on the one hand, it could be like a Whopper squishiness, softness, but on the other hand, it could be like the Cheetos crispy crisp, right? But it's kind of like right in the middle of the... Oh, what was that for?
What was what for?
I was flying through the air. Well, I guess it was a dream, huh? Boo. I was having the time of my life.
I know you were dreaming, but even in the dream, didn't you get worried that you might fall? I hate those dreams where I'm falling. They're scary.
Not one bit. I knew I was perfectly safe.
How's that?
Well, first of all, I thought I was flying because of my flying juice, but I guess it wasn't that. I guess I just had faith things were going to be okay.
Oh, okay. Sounds like someone learned something from Elisha's story this week.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I just thought you might have been inspired by the story this week.
I wish I could say I was, but I don't even know what it is. What happened?
Oh, it's so cool. It's in 2 Kings chapter 4.
All right, good thing I brought my Bible with me.
Remember Elisha was dreaming big with God and carrying on the work of his mentor, Elijah, who had gone to heaven. Elisha was talking to a woman who had a really difficult time. Her husband had just died, and unfortunately, he had owed money to people in town.
Oh no, and even if the people have debts and they die, it doesn't go away, does it?
Sadly, no. The debt had to be paid, and because the wife didn't have anything to pay it off, the people were going to take her 2 sons as payment.
What? They're going to take her children because she couldn't pay? That's awful.
I know it, but there's nothing she could do. So she asked Elisha for help. So Elisha looked at her and asked her what she had in her house. And all she had was a small jar of olive oil.
That's it? Oh no, she's doomed.
Well, hold on, Carl. This is where trusting God comes in.
You're right. So what happened?
Elisha told her to go to all of her neighbors and grab jars. Not just 1 or 2, but as many as she could find. And once she did that, she was told to go into her house, close the door with her 2 sons, and start pouring the olive oil into the jars.
Hold up. That sounds a little wacky. And this is coming from the man who thought he was floating through the sky 5 minutes ago.
What do you mean?
Well, she herself only had a little bit of oil in a small jar, and now she has tons of empty jars. How's she supposed to fill it all?
Once again, Carl, it all comes down to faith. And this woman trusted Elisha was going to help her.
All right. Sounds a little fishy to me. So what happened?
Well, the mother began to pour the oil into the jars, and guess what? The oil didn't run out. She kept going and going, pouring more and more oil in every jar until she filled one up to the top, turned to her son and said, "Bring me another jar." And the son told her there wasn't any left.
Wait, hold up. They ran out of jars?
Yup.
And the small amount of oil she had filled all the jars they gathered?
Yup.
How was that possible?
Faith.
Now wait a minute. Faith did that. Faith filled all those jars?
Absolutely. You see, Carl, she knew Elisha was a man of God. She knew she needed big help, God's help. And what better person to ask than someone who was close with God? She needed help, and she trusted God by speaking to Elisha, who would do that no matter how ridiculous or unlikely it seemed. And after she got those jars full, she sold them to pay off her debt so her sons could stay with her for good.
Wow, that is one of the coolest stories ever. I feel like I see a little bit of myself in that story too.
How so?
Well, the lady was desperate for help, but she didn't have much. And to be honest, I don't have much. I mean, at home I have a Bible, a bean bag, a couple packs of mac and cheese, and a bag of frozen chicken nuggets, and a bucket of homemade slime I made 3 years ago. But if God can use a small amount of olive oil to save that family, imagine what God could do with me, and all of us.
You're absolutely right, Carl. No matter what we have in life, faith is always the most important.
Hey kids, wasn't that a fun and encouraging story? Now, our big idea today is something truly special. But first, I'm going to have to pull it out of the sky, okay? There it is. I can have faith in God. Now let's say it loud on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I can have faith in God. Awesome work, kids. I heard that as clear as the sky is blue. Did you hear it, Carl?
I sure did.
Carl, what's wrong with your voice?
What do you mean? I hear it now. I think it's a side effect of that flying juice I drank from my cousin. Fiddlesticks. Bloody Bruce!
Oh no! Looks like someone's in trouble, but not us, right? Well, it was great having you join us today. See you next time.
Thank you for watching, and tune in next week for a new episode of Row TV.
In our story today, we read about a woman who had a need. Now, she did what God's messenger Elisha told her to do when she kept pouring oil into jars. Elisha, the woman, and her son kept filling all the jars that they had with oil until there were no more jars left to fill, because the oil kept flowing until the jars ran out. And as you can see, the oil stopped flowing. Now, sometimes we forget how big and powerful God is, and we think that God can only do a little bit. But it was a miracle that the olive oil didn't stop flowing until all of their jars were filled. And then they had enough to sell and get money so they could survive. But the amazing thing is that God's love for us never ends. It never runs out. So the next time that you're not sure who to turn to when you have a problem, remember to say, I can have faith in God.
Have you ever looked up in the sky and looked at the clouds and thought, that looks like a dog, or that one looks like a house? Well, this week your memory verse is written in the clouds, literally. But the wind came and scattered them all and messed them all up. So in your small group time today, it's going to be your job to race to see who can put together their memory verse in the right order first. Let's practice the verse together. Set your mind on things above, not on earthly things. Colossians 3:2. Good luck!
What an awesome time we had today together. Thanks for flying with us with Up in the Air. Let's spend our time together now as we close in prayer. Let's close our eyes, put our hands together, and bow our heads. Dear God, thank you for reminding us that we can have faith in you. Even though we cannot see you, we know you are always there for us, and we can trust you to take care of us. Help us to grow in our faith and share it with others too. And everyone said, Amen. Awesome, everyone. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.